What's up, everyone? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video, and today going to be coming at you with a little bit more of a trendy video, touching on that 5.2 to 5.3 million LeBron RPA sale. So we're going to get into that. What does it mean for the market, and maybe get into a little bit the importance of cash at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. How has the market historically reacted? Feels like every time these big sales happen, we see the influencers all over Instagram. At least we used to see them all over Instagram. This is huge for the hobby. Look at all the money in this hobby. Sports cards to the moon. All the lines like this. And while I'm excited about this sale, I can't stress enough how unsophisticated this is. And I want to stress that money at the top does not really impact you and I. There is such a huge divide between that LeBron RPA, like the Mickey Mantle PSA 9, all the stuff of that ilk, and what you and I are buying. Enormous difference. It's not remotely similar. And I guess I'll say that those high-end sales don't move like the lower-end stuff that you and I operate in. So I guess historically, they did a little bit because that influencer hype. You got influencers on there, they were saying, buy this LeBron RPA sale for 1.8 million August. LeBron stuff is undervalued, and buy LeBron. And people were pouring that money that they had, because the influencers had sway back then, into lower end stuff. So it did inflate the lower end, because obviously they couldn't afford the super high end. So it did inflate the lower end stuff. But that doesn't happen now. You don't see it now. And I'll nuance it a little. While the high end is not particularly relevant to the low end is relevant to the high end. I'll show up just a random LeBron rookie. Sales of stuff like this, if the sales are strong, is what gives confidence for the people with all the millions to buy the multi-million-dollar cards, right? They have all the money, but when the market gets hot on the everyday cards, and there is a ton of interest in it, it's what gives these buyers the impetus and the reason, the confidence to go spend multi-millions on the biggest cards. I think that's what brought all these huge players to the sports card market, and what kind of got them interested is the strength in the low end. It's where you see how healthy the market is, and it shows the demand that the 99% have. Now, I guess I got a little bit off base there, but that's the point, right? Is that historically these big sales used to move the lower parts of the market because of the influencer hype. We don't see that as much now, but I do think the low end still correlated to the high end sales, while the high end might not be correlated, might not have cause on boosting of low end sales. So if you're still with me on the video, drop a like, drop a sub. I appreciate it. Been busy lately, having trouble getting some card content out recently, as much as I've putting as much time and stuff in as I'd like, but I hope you all enjoy it still, and just keep showing that support. It means a lot. We'll get in now to how the market's reacting now. I want to give Sports Card Investments some credit for inspiring these ideas. You check him out on IG. He's got great content. You always want to give credit where credit's due, and he posted some talking about the different, stages of the hobby that we've seen. Talks about the death of the influencer period. And it's so true. Influencers don't have the sway that they used to have in today's market. Whether it's the idea that whether there might be less of them or they just have less power, it's so true. The hobby used to blow up when influencers would say something. And whether you believed it or not, whether you were on board with it or whether you weren't, it still provided you a chance to kind of make money because it did move markets. I think all the time about how I was buying these soccer cards before slab stock started covering soccer. And once they did, the market started to get really hot. I mean, this is August, near on the quick rise up to bubble levels. But I think about that all the time. You wouldn't see influencers have that sway that they have right now. The market's a lot more mature. I think it's just a testament to people being more educated than they used to be. They're smarter. They're more careful with their money. I think a testament to this is the fact this LeBron Bowman Chrome. So sitting around 2,800 maybe. After that LeBron big RPA sale, we saw a sale of this around 2,300, it was a low sale. Now, granted, it's come back up a little bit towards maybe 2,700-ish recently, but there are about almost 1,000 of these in PSA 9, decently high pop, still a nice chrome rookie of LeBron. It clearly did not increase in price. I think it's good evidence of just the fact that the prices on these big cards don't raise the floor for the prices on these little cards as much as they used to. Now, I think something that's worth noting here is it's not like I don't think that it's fair to say that, because the last time we saw a LeBron RPA like this sold, the Allo 23, I think was in August. Correct me if I'm wrong, at which point it went for like 1.8 mil. What we are not saying happened here is that the market on this LeBron True RPA Exquisite Allo 23 went from 1.8 mil to 5.2 or 5.3 mil in one day. The day before the sale was 1.8. The day of the sale was like 5 over 5. That's not what happened. There was clearly a baked-in value rising on that card over time. There just weren't any on the market. So it's not like LeBron's high-end market just boomed in one day, and thus these cards should be booming. No, like these cards have increased steadily in value. I mean, there was obviously a boom and a bust in there, but have increased since August. And, it depends which days you pick, but probably at a comparable level if you pick some favorable days to start and end at on this one. But they have been showing your day-to-day movements in like the lower end LeBron market. Well, that high-end one has definitely been creeping up in value in terms of what a high-end collector would pay. You just didn't see it. So it's not like there was a ton of, that sale should be moving the market in the low end because this high end just tripled. No, it's been going up, right? And the low end has been going up. So I don't think that's another reason why I don't think that high end should be moving the low end like it does, especially in the really illiquid high end, because it's been moving slowly all along in terms of what people are willing to pay. There just are none on the market. So what does this all mean? What does it all mean? I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I find it really weird that there's so much confidence at the high end and the low end is seemingly soft. I've got a lot of faith in the card market in general, but I am a little cautious that there's some money moving out. This doesn't mean there isn't opportunity, but we could be moving towards a post-hype period like Sports Card Invest talks about, and that would be really fun, in my opinion, just because it would be something different, something challenging. I really enjoy the fun of looking at different cards to buy, and it's been a super predictable market. People just buy the GOATs, park money, and don't get me wrong, I like buying GOATs, but I also like having a little fun with like the more investment type guys, but that stuff's all so inflated, you can't really do it right now, and in a post-hype period, it could be fun to get back to prospecting. Yes, money might not be as easy to come by, but if it's all good, and You're saying I might be losing my shirt, right? If I'm in on all the stuff that's been hyped, it's got a lot of room. First of all, I'm not in the stuff that's been hyped the most, but it'd be unfair to say this LeBron Bowman Chrome isn't up a ton over 2 years. Like, the current market has boosted the value of this enormously. Probably 10x, I'd say. Don't quote me on that. And I guess what I would say is, yeah, I'm a decent amount over my basis. Obviously, if we lost everything in the past couple of years, whatever, I'd be in the hole, but I don't think that'll happen. What I am doing is putting a little bit more emphasis on cash. Whether it be cash to target investment pieces, that you want, that you've researched and that you want, you think might be poising yourself well for the future, or just to target some PC cards that don't often come up. I think that cash might be more valuable now than ever. Previously, the opportunity cost of holding cash in the card market was enormous. I held almost no cash in my card account just because the market was so hot and growing so fast and just more money coming in every day, that I felt like a fool for having cash on hand and not being fully invested in my card account. I don't feel like that anymore, and that's a nice feeling, to be able to have cash, to be able to be opportunistic. I'm looking forward to that part. It's nice. You feel like there's less pressure to be making quick moves, and I like that a lot. It makes it more fun for me personally. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed these ideas. Drop some comments what you think about that big LeBron RPA sale. What does it mean to you? Does it mean anything to you? Appreciate y'all watching as always. And if you liked it, drop a like, drop a sub, and I'll catch y'all next time.